When the stadium noise slowly fades and the applause dies away in the distance, a new reality begins for many pros. Few know this transition better than Dani Alves, one of the most successful right-backs in football history. In 2025, he lives secluded in a discreet villa near Barcelona. But to understand how he got here, we must start at the very beginning. Dani Alves was born on May 6, 1983, in Juazeiro in the Brazilian state of Bahia. It was a quiet, sunny region where life moved slowly, and football was more than just a game, it was a way out. His father Domingos coached a local team, and from an early age, Dani spent his days on dusty, hard pitches. At first, he played as a winger, fast and agile, but coaches soon realized that his energy and game intelligence were perfectly suited for the right side of the defense. He went through the youth teams of Juazeiro and later the Bahia Academy with the same determination that would define his entire career. When he made his professional debut in 2001, he didn't arrive with big headlines, but with a quiet, unshakable self-confidence. Titles followed, attention grew, and in 2002, the door to Europe opened for him, Sevilla. A new continent, a new life, but Alves remained the same boy who once ran after the ball barefoot. Was this quiet boy from Bahia already destined for the grandest stages of European football? Sevilla became more than just a club for Dani Alves. For 6 seasons, tough matches, long nights, and a steep learning curve shaped him. Step by step, he won titles, but more importantly, he developed into one of Europe's most complete fullbacks. By the time he left the club, he was no longer just a talent. He was an established star. 2008 followed the move to FC Barcelona, and suddenly his career reached a new dimension. In his first season, Alves helped win the historic treble. Over the years, he became a familiar presence on the right side, always demanding, always smiling, always in motion. Titles accumulated almost faster than they could be counted. Across 2 stints, he made 408 competitive appearances for Barcelona. Even after his departure, his influence remained palpable. He was not just part of a team, he was part of an era. Under coaches like Guardiola and later Luis Enrique, Alves embodied a style of play that combined precision, courage, and freedom. Barcelona was not simply the highlight of his career. It was the place where everything made sense. But what happens when a player, after such years of glory, must move on and repeatedly prove himself anew? After his time in Spain, a phase of change began for Dani Alves. New countries, new jerseys, new challenges, but the same inner drive. First, his path led him to Juventus in Italy. There, too, he won titles and quickly adapted to a different pace of the game and a new football culture. Shortly after, Paris Saint-Germain followed. In France, he collected more trophies and confirmed once again that his game also endured far from Barcelona. Later, he returned to Brazil, playing for Sao Paulo, before football called him back to Europe once more. Another, albeit brief, return to FC Barcelona followed, then a chapter in Mexico. Despite his age, his spirit remained unchanged, always wanting to play, always wanting to compete. Parallel to this, his career with the Brazilian national team spanned decades. Copa America, Confederations Cup, Olympic gold, and 3 World Cups. In 2022, at the age of 39, Dani Alves once again stepped onto football's biggest stage. He became the oldest player ever to represent Brazil at a World Cup. Not a comeback out of nostalgia, but final proof of his extraordinary longevity. When a career spans continents and generations, how does a person even find peace after that? After years of stadiums, travel, and public attention, Dani Alves today finds his peace outside of Barcelona, in Premià de Dalt. Nestled between hills and overlooking the sea lies the villa where his life has noticeably slowed down. The property sits on a roughly 1,000 square meter plot and was acquired for about 3.5 million euros. But it doesn't seem luxurious in the classical sense. The architecture doesn't aim for impression, but for balance. The entrance is simple. Upon entering, the natural light that floods the room and makes the garden immediately visible is striking. Indoors and outdoors merge almost seamlessly. The living room follows the same calm line: large windows, a modern fireplace wall, and the view toward the sea define the space. When the terrace doors open, the house seems to breathe softly toward the coast. The dining area is open plan, without hustle, created for long, quiet evenings. The adjacent kitchen is functional and understated. A central island, high-quality materials, and clear organization leave room for movement without restlessness. Upstairs, the bedrooms open onto a long, south-facing terrace. The master suite at the end of the hallway combines everything the house stands for: room to breathe, built-in wardrobes, a bathroom with a jacuzzi, and a view that broadens the perspective. But what does this place really reveal about Dani Alves, the person, beyond football? In the garage, Dani Alves shows himself without staging. 3 cars, 3 clear purposes. A Ferrari marks the beginning. A dark Italian coupe, elegant and low. Its value, depending on the year of manufacture, is over $200,000. Alves uses it for quiet drives after training or nighttime routes through Barcelona, when speed means freedom. Next is a custom-designed Mini Cooper. Blue gold colors, striking details, playful. The base price is about $65,000, but personalization significantly increases the value. He drives this car for short trips and relaxed days. Most often, he uses the Range Rover Sport, a white SUV with a 3-liter turbo engine, around 395 horsepower, and a price between $90,000 and $115,000. High seating position, quiet interior, and comfort for training and family. 3 vehicles, no show, only function and personal preferences. But how large is the fortune behind these decisions? Dani Alves's financial foundation is the result of an exceptionally consistent career at the highest level. His estimated net worth is around 60 million US dollars. He made the biggest financial leap at FC Barcelona. There in his prime, he earned up to 10 million euros per season, including performance-based bonuses for titles and Champions League success. During the Guardiola era and later under Luis Enrique, he was consistently among the highest-paid defenders in Europe. Another highlight followed at Paris Saint-Germain. There, Alves received the most lucrative contract of his career, around 14 million euros per year, consisting of base salary, bonuses, and image rights income. No other engagement, neither Sevilla, Juventus, Sao Paulo, nor UNAM, reached this level. Off the pitch, sponsorship deals were added. In his commercial peak, he earned up to $5 million annually through partnerships with Nike and lifestyle brands. Real estate in Barcelona and Brazil complements his fortune in the long term. But how does a person use this success when it's no longer just about themselves? Outside of football, Dani Alves also used his success to help others in concrete ways. In 2016, he decided to support a fight that many pros avoid. Through a health program, he funded 300 full hepatitis C treatments for low-income families in Bolivia. No press, no cameras. At costs of about 3,000 to 5,000 euros per treatment, the total value of this aid was between 900,000 and 2 million euros. Shortly after, he went even further. As an ambassador for a world without hepatitis C, Alves pledged 1,000 more treatments, 500 for Brazil, 250 for Spain, and 250 for Bolivia. The estimated value of this commitment was between 3 and 5.5 million euros. For many affected, this help meant no luxury, but a real second chance. A quiet contribution with a lasting impact. How does such a commitment change the perspective on one's own life when football moves into the background? The life of Dani Alves in Barcelona has become quieter today. At home, the day often starts early, in quiet moments with his newborn, while the house is still asleep. His wife moves quietly through the rooms, and between them lies a new form of closeness, defined by family instead of appointments. Training continues to be part of his daily routine, but it fits in naturally. A session in the home gym, a healthy meal, then time outdoors. Sometimes with the guitar, sometimes with the dog by his side. Simple, grounded, far from the former noise. The trophies on the walls no longer seem like goals. They are memories, because the greatest moments now take place in silence, at home. Dani Alves has experienced everything: fame, titles, and worldwide recognition. Today, he chooses peace, family, and distance from the spotlight. If you enjoyed this look at his life today, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments which moment touched you the most. Until the next video.